Think for yourself. Question authority.
Tell us a little bit more about, the idea of creating in this space, releasing music in this space.
I can kind of give you a little bit of just the structural, and this is kind of with all projects, especially with Puscifer though, because we're very organized and Matt is very goal oriented. Is very, very emotional and very artistic, and he gets in his headspace and he goes down the rabbit holes in great ways. But he also can come up for a breath of fresh air, and we can go, okay, we have all these ideas. You've been going crazy with all these amazing things in this folder. I'm going to go through the folder. I'm going to look for some things in there. We're going to start messing around. And then we're going to set a goal. If I come up with a certain number of these things, if I come up with 60% or 70% of what we would use for an album, if I can come up with that by this date, then we start the clock ticking. Because if you're going to release a thing nowadays, I like to do vinyl. So there, right there, there's a fixed amount of time. You've got to rewind from how long it takes to actually deliver a master, get some test pressings back, confirm those things, put them into production, and then have them in the hands of, record stores like Stinkweeds and Phoenix. They want to have that vinyl in their hand. So you have to start thinking in terms of that clock, and most artists do not like that at all. They don't want to be. They feel like they're being oppressed.
Yeah.
And if you go, well, we missed this deadline. We already know that other deadline is going to shift. But if you just put your feet to the fire on this particular end, you don't want to force creativity. But part of it, I argue that you do. Then you need to pull your head out of your ass, quit being wimp about it, and just force yourself to you have a goal today. Write one line and one melody. Solve this puzzle today. One piece of this puzzle. Make yourself do it. If you don't do it, forgive yourself. Try it again tomorrow, or try it again a week from now. But don't let yourself off the hook. Force it. And then all of a sudden you'll find when you get past this, it's almost like a crest. You can see the entire valley. Oh, here it is. And it all unfolds. And that's what happened with Apocalyptical, this track that we're releasing, was that I was like, no, I'm gonna get this thing, because I'd have been working on another track before, for that, and it just wasn't. I couldn't crack it. And I did it. I did the due diligence. I was forcing myself to try to nail it. Couldn't get it. Put it aside. Was gonna take a break and then jump right into this one. Cracked it. So the first time Matt was out here for Harvest, and we tracked it on my wife's birthday, August 12th. That was the initial vocal, scratch vocal, and by September 1st or 2nd, I had the lyrics were written, and the initial tracks are tracked, and I believe some of those initial tracks are still in the song. So I didn't have to go back and retract them. But that's the discipline side of being an artist. That's hard for artists to kind of get to. Did you get a chance to see the video?
Did you want to talk about it?
It's just, with going back to our Gibby sensibility of just being a absurd maniac. Yeah, I feel like that's you got to maintain some of that maniac. You got to just dad jokes, and sense of humor, and all the that's going on with all this isolation, and they're afraid. People are afraid. They don't know if they're going to have a job. They don't know if their friends are going to get infected. There's just so much lack of facts. We don't have information to make decisions based on information. It's just, especially in the States, it's just polarized, politicized, awful mess with no facts. Just give me what are the facts? What do we know? What do we not know? And stop trying to get elected over it. Whoever, the bipartisan thing is just so sickening right now. We just don't need it.
Yeah.
It's really irrelevant right now. What we need is to drop back and remember, what did you bring to the table? help your friends, help your neighbors, help your family, to just kind of be present through all of this. Don't check out through all this. Be present in it. And my role, I'm an entertainer. I have to remember that. I'm nothing more than an artist and an entertainer. And of course, I grow things. But so the video is us just.
At the time when you were doing that, having a good time to present a good time at a terrible time, I wondered how that made you feel in that process.
You have to let go of that. This is a strange time that none of us have lived through. So you just have to let if you already live your life as like I do, which is whatever you've done, whatever you're doing, you can do it better. If you just pay more attention, you can always do better. Just you can always be wrong. Just take that perspective on this thing, and we'll get through this. If you just take that attitude, you're not right. No one's right. Just assume that you're either wrong or partially wrong, or could do it better, or could be more compassionate. Just take that path, and we're all gonna. And that's a very romantic perspective, but I feel like we can get through this. And so what like I said, what I do is we try to entertain. So we've got a fun song that we had a lot of fun making way before all this stuff went down. And the video was in the middle of it all. So there's a nice meeting of like what we wrote back in August colliding with what's actually happening right now with the visuals. It was kind of a nice marriage.